It's been a hectic first month on the job. We've jumped right into team workouts as well as individual workouts. Just started our first week of July recruiting. Now we're here. We'll do team workouts today and tomorrow in preparation for our trip to Canada. And then it's right back on the road recruiting on Wednesday. But all in all, I've been very pleased with our guys. They've worked extremely hard, have really bought into the team concept, and trying to put together 7 new players, along with Jonathan Stark, our transfer from Tulane, with the 5 returners, and really start building that team chemistry. So it's been a great first month on the job for me.
Any questions? Go ahead and fire away.
How exciting is it to kind of get in this first kind of practice setting for you as a head coach?
Well, for me, it's been a smooth transition, and it's exciting for me, but it's been smooth just from the standpoint of the players. They've been so good in their effort and their energy every day in our team workouts that it's enabled me to hit the ground running and really start our preparation for Canada.
How different is it going to be leading a practice rather than the assistant coach's role?
Well, we've done, I guess, 5 or 6 team practices so far, just in the 40 to 45-minute variety. And it's been a lot of fun. You get to make up the practice plan however you want to do it, and that's been a lot of fun. But again, to me, it's keeping things very similar to how we've done it, instilling those defensive principles, and really holding the guys accountable to how we want to play at both ends of the floor. So I'm enjoying it, having the time of my life.
Coach, maybe just talk a little bit about the type of competition that you guys are going to face up in Canada here in the next couple of weeks.
Well, that's the one thing that's going to be really challenging for us. One of the games up there is against Carleton University, who's won multiple national championships in Canada, beat Memphis by 20-plus points last summer. They've beaten Syracuse in recent years. So it's going to be a great test for us. Also, we'll play University of Ottawa and Concordia University as well while we're up there. So we'll definitely face stiff challenges while we're in Canada.
I know bonding will be an important aspect of the trip to Canada. Talk a little bit about that, and then strategically, what will you use it for?
Well, I would rank the games last on my list of priorities as far as the trip's concerned. First and foremost is these 10 days of practice, getting to build our team and really implement our defensive system as well as a few offensive principles that we plan to use throughout the season, and get a little bit of a head start on our practice preparation for October. And then secondly is just the experience that these players are going to get, the opportunity to travel together to Canada, see another country, get to tour Ottawa and Montreal, those historic cities, and spend that time together really creating that team chemistry that it's going to take for us to have a successful season. So that's our priority list going into it.
Tell me a little bit about the practice schedule for you guys, as you guys have got 10 practices before you head out to Canada, and just a little more about this trip to Canada in general. Every 4 years, I think, NCAA allows a team like Murray State to go to Canada.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, like you said, every 4 years you can take a foreign trip with your team as long as it's outside of time when school's in session. So we'll take our team there. The advantage of it is you do get the 10 additional days of practice in the summer in preparation. And for us while we're there, I want it to be about more than just the games. It'll be about the team meals that we take. It'll be about touring the cities. We'll do some unique team building exercises while we're there. So it's going to be a lot of fun for us.
You talk about having those additional 10 practices. How important is that for the team, because there's so many new guys that haven't played with each other in a floor setting?
Right, and it'll be their first introduction to Murray State basketball for 5 of them. And then with G. McGee, he's had a great off season, so expecting him to step into more of a leadership role since he does have a year in the program. But as far as the 10 practices, the one advantage it'll give us, I want to be able to teach some of the drills that we're going to use throughout the season, so they have a head start. When we start official practice in October, there'll be less teaching and more competition, and we can practice at a more up-tempo pace because we won't have to go over each and every drill that we want to run.
Is there one thing in particular that you're looking to get out of these guys in these practices?
Toughness and competition. I want them practicing with high energy. I want them to compete in every drill that we do. And then the one thing also I I want skill development. It's going to be a huge part. I still want it to be individualized to where each player is getting better. And then the last thing for me that sometimes we lose sight of in this process, I want them to have some fun. You know, I want these 10 days to be fun and exciting, and then I want them to have, you know, the time of their lives on their trip to Canada.
You guys at Murray State, arguably the program at its pinnacle in popularity, with Cameron Payne just recently leaving for the Oklahoma City Thunder, going in the lottery in the NBA draft. How do you guys plan to replace Cameron Payne? You've done a phenomenal job at being able to retain, as a new head coach, retain all the recruits that Prohm brought in. How do you plan on replacing Cameron Payne? Not only that, but as a mixture, getting your guys to trust you as a new head coach and trying to fill the shoes as a player as huge as Cameron Payne has been.
Sure. Well, Cameron will help us in continuing to build our national brand because of the notoriety he's brought to the program. And that'll only help us in our recruiting efforts. But my message to our team is very simple. We're not worried about who we were a year ago or who was here and who's not. All we're worried about is who we can become as a team. These 13 guys, our new coaching staff, the support staff, who can we become and how can we best maximize our team? And so roles will be different. You know, our point guard might not average 20 points and 7 assists a game. You know, we might not have a Jarvis Williams who's averaging 18 points, 10 rebounds a game. All right, but we'll have Jeffrey Moss. Can he step up and take another step in his development as a player and go from 12 a game to 16 a game? Can Wayne Langston go from being the first post player off the bench to being a starter? You know, those are the things that we got to answer here in the coming months.
Are the guys anxious to get on the court together and play in a game setting, especially when they go to Canada?
Well, I think so. The one thing we really have going for us with these guys is we have high character players who love the game. They love being in the gym. So these guys are consistently in the practice facility working on their games, and they play 5-on-5 pickup games 3 or 4 times a week and compete at a really high level in those. So it's not like this is going to be brand new to them. They've been working extremely hard all summer, and now it's just going to be a little bit more structured and more organized. So they're excited and ready to go.
You've got a lot of new guys, and as a result, they don't have a lot of experience playing together, but a lot of them have a good bit of experience. The junior college guys, the D1 transfers. Has that helped as practice has gone along through the summer?
Well, I think so, and when Coach Prohm really started this, and we plan to continue it, is we want to recruit guys who are all about winning. And throughout their careers, they've impacted winning, whether it's on the high school level, junior college. You know, you look at Bryce Jones, coming from Jones County, they won the national championship in junior college. A.J. Patty, they won over 30 games both years at Vincennes. You know, so these guys are coming from winning programs. They're used to winning. They know what it takes. Now they just have to buy in with our guys and continue to do those same things. So that's the exciting thing for me is we have guys who are used to being around winning programs.
Coach, you touched on it a little bit, but these high character guys, now you've been busy on the recruiting trail. Where have those trails taken you just over those last couple of weeks? I
spent my first week in Atlanta, in Augusta, Georgia, and then flew to St. Louis to watch some junior college events there. And really for us, our top priority right now is to find an impact post player who can come in here and have a strong impact on our program right away next season. And then after that, we're really spending a lot of time on the 2017 class because we'll have 5 seniors in that group that we'll have to replace. So trying to get a head start there as well.
How is it introducing yourself to those recruits as the head coach at Murray State?
I mean, it feels good to say you're the head coach, but you know, obviously with that comes a lot more responsibility. So it's been fun, and fortunately, we've put together a great staff that does a great job, not only on the recruiting trail, but just as important for me is they do a great job with our current players. And that's where I want them investing a lot of their time, is helping these guys continue their development on and off the court. So very pleased with our coaching staff. They've really helped me to make this a smooth transition so far.
What is the one thing, Coach, you've probably been instilled an endless amount of good information and advice from Coach Prohm, who just recently left for Iowa State. What is the one thing for you, if you could think of one in particular thing that you believe he has instilled in you over the course of last year, as a head coach, you as an assistant, that has made you more apt and more prepared for this head coaching stint?
Sure. Well, the number one thing I learned from Coach Prohm, it's not an X and O's game. It's about you win with great people, and it's about investing your time and energy to develop those relationships. And that's what our program will continue to be about. It'll be about having great relationships with our players and doing whatever we can to help them become the best players they can be, to help them get their degree from Murray State, and then do a great job in the community, because that's one area we've had a lot of success. And that's why Murray State is what it is, such a great place, because of that unique relationship between the community support and our players. So we'll continue along doing those same three things.
You talked about the fun and the exciting aspect of this Canada trip. Like, what is the mood like when the guys come into the gym? Because they know it's coming up soon.
Well, it's different for them, because usually it's just those dog days of summer. You're grinding them out in the weight room and conditioning and individual workouts, and they're playing pickup games all the time. Now they can see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, knowing they're going to have an opportunity to go play 3 real games against really good teams in front of large crowds up in Canada. And so they're excited about that, and I think it helps them have a little more hop in their step as we go through these practices, knowing they get a chance to play here in August.
Have there been any further developments as far as the schedule?
The schedule is always a work in progress here. We're making some progress. We have added the game at the University of Georgia, and we'll play that before we go to Florida. It'll be a part of that trip to play in the Gulf Coast Showcase. And then we've added our home game with Evansville the first Saturday in December, which has turned into a great series for us. And we still have a couple more slots we're looking to fill that'll be ongoing throughout the month of July, hopefully not into August.
Any update on Croaker?
DeMarcus Croaker, still wait and see. We're hoping to find something out as early as this week. Still hoping for the best, but not getting our hopes too high. So we'll see how it all turns out this week. I know he's anxious.
If that doesn't come through, I assume his original eligibility will be right around Christmas time?
Right. He would, assuming all goes well this fall, he would be eligible for our December 13th game at Illinois State on the road, and that would be his first game he could participate with us. But he'll be able to practice the whole way through, so he'll be ready to go. Be the same situation TJ Sapp was in a year and a half ago.